Hi everybody. Because of the lockdown, I'm sort of pottering away in my garage studio instead of being at my unit. And I've been doing a few things that I haven't done for a wee while. And one of them is some palette knife painting. It occurred to me that some people might like to see how I do these. I've set up a palette. It's a bit messy. These white mounds are talcum powder, and I like to mix some paint with some talcum powder, and it adds to the sort of voluptuousness of the texture of the paint. I like it. Not everybody would like it, but it makes your paint nice and thick and squidgy. Sort of feels a bit more like oil paint, which is my favourite. But acrylic paints, which these all are, dry nice and fast. And, you know, I'm just sort of pottering about. I'm not bothering too much about what I paint. I'm making up things. Just so long as I keep painting. I've mingled a little bit. I'm just going to just spread some paint all over the canvas. Oops, got little bits from my from my palette. I attempted to clean my palette, and it just all I did was manage to get lots of little bits of acrylic paint all over the place. And what I'm doing with the palette knife is I just sort of mix in a little bit of paint with the basic colour, and just to get everything textured and filled in. Get rid of the white paper effect. I don't know if you can see me putting more talcum powder into my little piles of paint. I'm just going to add a bit of white now. I like palette knife painting because it has energy, and if you fill in things really quickly. Actually, usually I like it without any picture on it at all. But I've been doing a sort of trying to do colourful rainbow type things because these are COVID-19 days and rainbows are the thing. I don't know if you can see that very well. That's the first basic backgroundy coat just wheat in. Now I'm going to do some wheating in of rainbow colours that I'm going to try and pull together to make into flowers. So a little bit of pink. I'm going to try and use two colours at a time with the palette knife. So, some pink mixed with talc and a touch of red, and we'll see how that goes. We'll have, it's quite nice. Don't know if you can see that. That looks flowerish enough to me. I think I'll put in a bit of orange. For the back of the flower. A little bit more. And a touch of blue. The kind of paint I use with acrylics is Amsterdam acrylics, which I get from Great Art. Of course, usually I buy Amsterdam acrylics because they're good for murals and they can be used outdoors. So I just happen to have this kind here because obviously I'm not doing very many murals just now. A little bit of purple in. I'll let you see this so that you can understand my thinking. I don't know if that looks much like a flower yet, but I'll show you it and how it's coming on, and you might get the idea of what I'm trying to do. It's flower-ish. I'm going to put in another flower. Oh, I've even got my tie-dyed t-shirt torn up now. I think I'll put in that colour. That one's sort of multicoloured. So I'll put in, oops, want to match the background. A little bit of orange. It's vaguely like a daffodil. So that's what happens when you try to make one line, and it was working so well. Good. I think I'll just put it in here. Put a bit into the background because I don't really want that line to be so thick. This is the beauty of palette knife painting. Everything gets mingled together, no matter what you do. So there's the second flower. I think I should maybe put just another little flower up at the top. I think what I ought to do is, I think we'll have a nice red flower. Just a wee poppy. A bit of darkness there. That's not bad actually. It's just so that they go climbing up. Now, I think what I'll do is I'll use a rigger brush, which is the complete opposite to a palette knife. So they're very sort of careful in how you do them. Just get a little bit of water. I'm going to use blue and green mix. and just reinforce these where the stalks are. I might just put a couple of outlines on a few things, just so that there's some drawing in there. And maybe a wee leaf. We need a leaf there somewhere. And the thing about mixing with talcum powder is it doesn't actually change the colour of anything, so that's quite nice. But it lowers the tone. Let's make this side a little bit darker, I think. Possibly a bit of pink in it. Marvellous. Now, what was I going to do there? Can't remember. I think I might just do this. Make this into a sort of frondy thing. I want this bit to be quite pink. It's really doing it for me. And a little bit extra yellow to this. Leave it to dry. It's quite pretty. It's like a card. Something like that, isn't it? It's quite pretty. You can see how fast palette knives work. Fantastic.